The 8th generation Lexus ES, what Lexus is calling the new flagship of the brand, has just been revealed for the first time in Shanghai. Guys, this is a huge shift for Lexus as Lexus makes a massive step going fully battery electric by 2030 in major markets. If you're excited for the new Lexus ES, make sure to hit that like button and make sure you subscribe because I will get hands-on with this vehicle within the near future, and I probably will drive it by the end of the year at a Lexus media event. New Lexus ES global flagship model undergoes complete revamp with diverse electrified vehicle model lineup. The model will spearhead Lexus's next generation EV lineup, combining HEV, so hybrid electric vehicle technology, and BEV capabilities. The spacious rear back seat and cutting-edge technology provide high-quality, comfortable interior experience for all passengers, embodying Lexus' new inspired design by the next generation BEV, the LFZC. And I'll compare it. Don't worry, I'll put them up side by side so you can see where it's getting some of this design language from. It's also refined the vehicle's capabilities and further pursuing improvements in quietness, ride comfort through electrification technology. That's the thing. The ES was already incredibly smooth, incredibly quiet. I'm really excited to see. Well, here's the thing. The RZ is that right now. The RZ is very smooth, very quiet. How can the ES improve upon that? I am excited to see. All right. With that being said, we have, I don't know, about 70, almost 90, over 90 images, about 100 images to go through. So let's go through them together. Here's the design of the new ES. I said I'd bring you, or I'd compare it to the LFZC concept that I saw at the Japan Mobility Show in fall of 2023. I mean, the ES looks a lot better. Some people might like the crazy, origami, hard edges, lines going everywhere. And there are some lines and creases that are similar, but it's nowhere near the aggression that we have on the LFZC. This vehicle will be coming, I think it's been delayed now. I think it's supposed to be 2026. It's now coming 2027. And this is on a totally different BEV platform. Now, the new ES is going to be made in Japan, in theory. All right. They've been trying to work for years, trying to get this vehicle back to Japan. It's been delayed. What do I mean by that? Well, it's been made in Kentucky since, I think, 2016, the Lexus ES. So you can see it shares some of this blackout portion right here. It has similar daytime running lights, right? Competing Lexus motif, and upside down Lexus motif, and the headlights in here. So, it does share some things with this design. There's no doubt, but I'm going to get this off the screen because this is about the ES today. All right. Door handles that are sucked into the side. Do they pop out? No, it looks like it almost reminds me of like BMW's newer door handles. This is new Lexus mirror. I don't know here. Could they just be putting a stripe on the side? Yes, I'd have to see it a little bit closer to see if it's just a rebadging of their current mirrors. Yeah, it's fully battery electric at launch, to my understanding. We'll see what Lexus has to say in the press briefing. These wheels look enormous. They look like 2021s possibly. And there's that fastback design. Is it a fastback? Well, let me see if I can. I found a trunk picture already. No, it's a traditional sedan. Or should I say, is it a liftback? No, it's a traditional sedan. So it kind of reminds me of the Crown, right? The Crown looks like a 5-door, but it's a 4-door. Same thing for the ES. Now, what are the benefits of a 4-door over a 5-door? 5-door is going to have the benefits for cargo capacity and putting things in a little bit easier. This trunk looks massive, though. All right. The benefits of a 4-door is that it seals this entire compartment away from the passengers, which makes the passengers' interior much quieter. And that's why it's hard to be a luxury sedan in terms of noise isolation, because the passenger volume is just smaller in there because there's no access to the cargo area. So ES350E, we knew that this was coming because it's been trademarked. What do you think about the front end? People are going to love it or hate it. I love it. The ES is no longer, I mean, the ES looks great already. The spindle grille, it looks decent on the ES. I'll say that. But I think this looks pretty nice. Let me know what you guys think. It looks similar to the RZ as well. And then you kind of have the spindle body down here that we see similar in the RX, right? Where the grill flows into the body. I kind of like that defragmentation going on. All right. Hood looks good. The hood lines are crazy, guys. I like it. The ES is going very, very bold. Ooh, what is that color? Amber daytime running lights for the turn indicators, or should I say it's just turn indicator here. But this does turn white for the daytime running light as well, as we saw earlier. All right, so keep moving. All right, so from the side profile, I don't think it looks as good as a traditional three box sedan that the ES has always been. All right, this still looks good. And I know this is about efficiency because it's fully electrified. What do you think about these crazy lines? This looks very BMW to me with these strong lines on the side. But Lexus is kind of doing it their own way for sure. Do you like how the line goes from the top of this accent piece? The body line goes all the way to the rear window. I think it's fascinating. It's a very bold design. Lexus going hard in the paint here with its new ES, which it's crazy they're doing it with the ES because, guys, traditionally the ES has been like one of the most conservative models in Lexus's lineup. It's a winning formula, front wheel drive, smooth, V6. V6 is gone now, more than likely. I haven't read into the press release, but what I've been understanding for a long time about this 8th gen ES is it's going fully electrified 2.5 liter hybrid and EV lineup. All right, what do you think about the back end here? I don't know about this L piece. I know it's L for Lexus, but I don't know how I feel about it. I'll have to see it in person. I think it's probably going to look fine. There are lights here. Your turn indicators are right here. That's pretty crazy. It's going to look so good at night. The RZ looks better at night because the lights are so impressive and the body lines really stick out at night. So we have a green interior. Now, is a green interior? This looks like a Hyundai interior. That's no slam on Hyundai and Kia, right? This looks like a Korean interior. They go so bold with their interiors. And this is like a mint green. Now I want mint ice cream. Okay. And look, when I see this Lexus, the Lexus logo is off the steering wheel. Look at this crazy steering wheel. My Lord. What in the world? Customizable on this side. And then this side looks to be fixed, which I'm okay with because currently on a Lexus with a head-up display, a customizable head-up display that you have in the NX and RX, they replace all the buttons. And I'm like, I'd be okay if some of them were customizable, but I really want some of them to be fixed. It looks like they're fixing radar cruise control, your safety features here. All right. Wow, that is crazy. Now, this reminds me of Ioniq because I'll just put 4 little squares in the steering wheel. Let me know what you guys think of it. 2-tone steering wheel. Where's the wood, though? Do we have wood in our ES? That's one of the things I love about the ES. This looks like bamboo here. It's a cool-looking bamboo with all sorts of different designs on it, alternating patterns here. I like it. And it comes onto the dash. I don't like these screens. Why do I need these screens this big? This reminds me of the LFZC. Let me pull up the interior. Okay, there's a quick look at the interior. Yes, it was light bar. You had screens on each side of the steering wheel, and then you had these big old squares off to the side. I'm like, that's not luxury to me. Guys, I hope by the time they bring it to the US market, they can make changes. I just want a 12-inch screen here. Look how terrible that looks. Guys, that looks like my workspace here at my office where I have 2 screens. That looks terrible. Let me know what you think of the 2 big screens here. I mean, it just looks so bad. I'm not that harsh on interiors, but this is bad. I mean, the rest of the interior is fine. Take off the screens and implement a 12-inch screen into the dash a little bit more fluidly. it would look great. You have a volume knob here, which again reminds me of the Koreans, where the volume knob is. There's no climate control buttons, really. You have touch capacitive buttons. So it's taking some steps back, guys, in terms of functionality, and it's just going full ham on tech. The shifter is right here, and it's not a true shifter anymore. It's kind of like what everything's doing, a shift by wire sort of small button thing. USB-Cs, I would assume your wireless charger's back there, power button, large MID back there, still Mark Levinson. Yeah, let's keep moving. I want to see more. Full panel roof. We'll see. I doubt that's standard in America. It's probably standard over in China. The back seat, the materials look fantastic. The two-tone doors look good. You even have wood on the armrest area. Looks pretty good. Oh, and then you have the ottoman. The ottoman can make it to America in an ultra luxury trim. It's possible they don't bring it here though. But Lexus, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to get my hopes. It's not like my hopes are high for this because this ottoman looks pretty small. But you got to keep in mind this vehicle has to compete with the GV80. Sorry, the G80 electrics. I have a GV80 I'm driving this week. It's fantastic. Wait for my review on it. But it's got to keep up with the LS's chauffeur duty, essentially. Okay, ambient lights. I'm liking the interior a little bit better now. So you have that bamboo that can be illuminated. You get the Mark Levinson speakers that are illuminated, which is pretty cool. All right, looking at the screens. Okay, this is the biggest MID I think we've seen behind the steering wheel. It could be a 12-inch, but maybe since it's cropped on each side, it could be smaller. It could be a 14-inch that's cropped. We'll go over range and stuff here in a little bit once we get through the pictures. It's going to be a long video, guys. You know how much I love the ES. The ES 7th generation came out when I was at Lexus, working for Lexus, and I sold plenty of the 7th generation ESs when I was there. Okay, the body, the suspension piece, I saw this being assembled at the Marysville auto plant, and they just plop that thing into the bottom of a car. All right, that was for Honda, but they Toyota did the same thing. All right, okay. What does this remind me of? There's a car in recently where these buttons disappear if you don't need it. I think maybe some of the Lincoln's buttons will disappear if you're not using them. So I like that. That's pretty cool. But the thing is, it's like, does it really make the interior that much cleaner when you have this mega screen just staring you down? Like, it looks so bad. Everything else looks fine. I don't really have that big of an issue with the rest of the interior. Ooh, do we have any ambient lights in the vents? Don't know if that's going to make it to America. I would not get my hopes up for it. All right, so we have these look like smaller wheels here. We have different wheel designs. Oh my gosh, okay, so this is just a generic tire with no markings on it. We'll go over wheel designs, but this looks like 18, 19, 20 or 21 inch tires. Let's go back. These could be 19, 20, 21. That'd be my guess. You have two 21 inch tires. Let me know which one. I don't like those. Lexus wheel designs are typically pretty bad. These are pretty classic ES wheel designs. I like this one the best. You know what I'm saying, Kirk? That looks too... fits the car's crazy lines. I like that one the best, but don't like all the spokes. It's very classic Lexus ES. This one looks the worst, I think. Let me know what you guys think. This one I'd take the most. This one, God, the wheel designs. Lexus, your wheel designs, man. Oh, all right. White interior, looking pretty good. Thank God they took the other screen off. Oh, thank God they took that other screen off. Look at this. Guys, look how you get the panel roof though. Can you imagine if they lock you in? If you want the panel roof, they lock you into the big screens here. I hope not. I hope that's not the case, but I like that tan interior too. All right. Charging port, ES350E. There's the 500E all-wheel drive. Our first electrified all-wheel drive. They had the ES250 all-wheel drive, which was a big smack in the face. The ES should have had V6 all-wheel drive, but they never engineered it for that vehicle ever to have all-wheel drive. It was an afterthought, so that's why the 2.5 liter got all-wheel drive in it. And now we're going to have hybrid all-wheel drive as well when that comes out. All right, so Here's some different paint colors, looking good in copper. Holy shnikes. I don't know what this color, those might be new colors, guys. These might be new Lexus colors. We'll read into it. Ah, look at this. ES 350H. You see that? ES 300H. Will we see a 300H in America? China has different powertrains, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get an ES 350H only for our hybrid, but we'll see. Oh, that blue color is looking nice. Blue looks real nice with the black accents. Copper looks so sick. Okay, they take the bamboo out, but I do like this. This looks very cozy. There's the bamboo. The bamboo looks better. The bamboo must be the upper trim because it's coming with the Mark 11. And oh, we got memory seats on the side, guys. On that ultra luxury, memory seats on the side. That's next level. Thank God we just have an option of the one screen. Do you know how many people in America are going to be saying hell no to that second massive screen? I hope they don't even offer it here. Maybe I do. Somebody's going to want it. Some tech nerd is out there is going to want all those screens. All right. Nano X technology for air purification. A better look at the shifter, 2 wireless chargers back there, auto brake hold, cup holders, that green interior, guys, that green interior. God, what? You know, I'm done with the double screen. I'm done with it. Now, this has eluded the ES for years and the GS as well. Almost every other market outside the United States got all these fancy controls for the backseat passengers. It does look like for the ultra luxuries in America, we're finally going to get this. But again, these pictures are coming from the Japanese press room. It'll be laughable to you guys. By the way, there is a new Toyota vehicle as well called the BZ7. I'll have to make a separate video on this. But the U.S. press room only has 4 pictures, and it doesn't have the second big screen. And you can see it has the bamboo. I mean, the black interior doesn't look that good, but it has the bamboo high-end trim without the second screen. So there's a chance that second screen doesn't come to America. And if it doesn't, I'm excited. Well, I'm also excited to cover this for you guys, the BZ7. And what kind of vehicle that could be for the United States. All right, cup holders back there, illuminated for your ring light from your makeup. Okay, some glowy green accents on that bamboo on the inside, and then you can two-tone those colors. Okay, bamboo around the air vents in the back looks nice. Oh, I doubt this makes it to America. It could. All right, Ascent in the cabin. I have that in the GV80 I'm driving this week. This interior right here looks pretty good. Maybe a little too much brown on the door. This should have been black or something. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, maybe a little bit too much brown on the door. And then you get to this. I like the green a lot. The second screen, the white and the bamboo looks good. I mean, the green and the bamboo looks better than the white and the bamboo. Let me know what you guys think on that. Yeah. Okay. I think I got an idea of all the images. It's time. Well, you can see the different. Here's hybrid. Here's BEV. Next gen e-axles. I think I got an idea, guys. Got an idea here. I'm ready to start talking about the technology on this vehicle after giving my thoughts on the interior and exterior. They say since 2005, Lexus has been a pioneer in electrification in the luxury market. I would say they used to be. They used to be a pioneer in the electrification market. This ES is not a pioneer compared to all the Chinese cars out there, compared to a lot of the European cars. Lexus is finally launching. I would say a vehicle that they meant for to be BEV from the get-go. All right, the new ES. All right, so in 2024, the ratio of electrified vehicles reached a record high 52%. The majority of this 52% is hybrid, of course. Keep in mind, we're back to the U.S. press room here. The ES is the second of 3 new Lexus BEV models scheduled to debut by March 2026. What the first one is that the refreshed RZ? I'm not quite sure what they mean by the second of 3. The third one is probably going to be the 3-row EV. That should be debut by March 2026. Absolutely. That's built in Kentucky alongside of the EV Highlander. The LFZC production vehicle is not coming until 2027, but they're going to show, potential concepts and new Lexus models at the Japan Mobility Show this October. I will be there once again, like I was last year. I should be going with David Chow again if everything works out. And we're going to tackle that beast. 1-2 punch that. I can't wait. Compare the previous model. Length has been expanded and extended by 6.5 inches, the wheelbase by 3 inches. So the wheelbase has to get bigger to adequately fit a battery pack, an EV battery pack. So the length is 6.5 inches longer. What's the point of an LS now when the ES is the same size as the LS? It has all the technology of the LS. Maybe better technology, as we've seen. For the first time in North America, guys, this is happening. An executive package is available on the ES. Like I mentioned in the back seat, we've never been able to get those fancier controls or the ottoman. So this package is available on the ES 350e front-wheel drive luxury model, and it includes reclining rear seats with the passenger side ottoman, rear outboard massaging seats, holy smokes, and rear seat heating and ventilation. Why is it only available on the ES 350e front-wheel drive? You would think they would want to offer it on the most expensive and performance-minded model. Now, is there any mention, did we see pictures of the ES 500e? We saw pictures of the ES 350e, right? But we did get a badge at least of the 500e. We did see a badge of it right here. Okay, so 350e, 500e is all-wheel drive. So I don't know why, if you want the executive package, why you're locked into the 350e and maybe not be able to get on the 500e. I'll have to clarify that with Lexus next time I'm with them. This is pretty interesting. Lexus ES is launching the newest version of the Lexus interface. It's their new infotainment system. To enhance user experience with a new on-screen home button and split-screen capability. In addition, the native voice assistant, which I've never ever used, but it has been improved with quicker response and times. Native navigation and map functionality are now integrated into digital gauge cluster. That's good. Just keeping up with the times, essentially. Featuring a 14-inch touchscreen display, the system includes standard Apple CarPlay wireless, Android Auto wireless, and dual Bluetooth phone connectivity. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a screen that shows the software. All the screens that we got just have like a placeholder Lexus image on it. So that's a bit disappointing that we don't know what this software looks like, right? You reveal a car and just give us a background image. This is very Genesis right now. The Genesis GV80 I'm driving had just been refreshed. The screens connect, which looks better than what this ES is, but the screen is very close to the driver, so ergonomically it's good. At least since we don't have buttons, at least the touchscreen's close. Anyways, the GV80 has mountains in the background, just like this ES, despite me living in Florida. It's kind of funny. Now, they briefly talk about the powertrains here and don't give us a lot of numbers, so I'll try to bounce around different newsrooms. So the ES350 has a manufacturer estimated range of 300 miles when equipped with 19-inch wheels. The smallest wheels, they don't look bad. They're not the worst, like in the 20, I think it was the 20s that look really funny. Anyways, the 19s are going to give you 300 miles of range. Let me know what you think about that. Is that not enough? I think it's fine. It's going to be fine. It could be more than this when we get EPA range. So we'll see. Let's go over to the other press room. Let's see what they have to say about this is what I'm looking for, guys. This, my friends, is a spreadsheet. And you know what I do for spreadsheets. I love them. I sink into them. All right. So length, we said length is about 6 inches longer, 6.5 inches longer. It's wider, of course. It's actually taller. Why is it taller? Well, it's sitting on a battery pack now, so it kind of jacks up the height of the vehicle. So Again, the new ES is just, it's bloated. And this is what happens with BEVs, with our current BEV technology. The vehicles get bloated. They get bigger, all right, for better, for worse. Wheelbase is 3 inches longer. Vehicle weight, guys, let's get the calculator out. And I'm going to look up current ES 350 curb weight, because they're not talking about how the weight's going up here. They're talking about how the dimensions are going up and not the weight. I'll tell you. So ES 350 front wheel drive is about 3,700 pounds. All right. So if let's get the calculator. We look at where this vehicle starts times 2.2. Not bad. It's gone up about 220 pounds. But that's for the ES 300H. All right. We're not getting the 300H, so I don't even know why I'm looking at that. We're going to get the S350H, which has not the 2 liter, but the 2.5 liter hybrid engine in it. So let's look at that. Let's look at the 350H. 1820 times 2.2. So the ES, that's 3,730 pounds. So we've essentially gone up 300 pounds from hybrid to hybrid. That's going to have a knock on fuel economy unless they really beef up the battery here, which I don't think they're going to. I don't know for our market, but for sure there is going to be all-wheel drive. It might be standard all-wheel drive in America. If you look at the Crown, the Crowns are all-wheel drive. So if Lexus brings the ES 350 and a front-wheel drive, I guess that's fine. But there is all-wheel drive as well available. All right, the Camry can get all-wheel drive, for crying out loud. So it's not that hard for them to put all-wheel drive on the hybrids. When we jump up to the BEV model, the lightest BEV model is 900 pounds heavier than the ES currently. Yikes. And then we look at the heaviest BEV model, 2.2. Holy cow, minus 3,700. It's 1,300 pounds heavier than the current ES 350 if you want the full-on ES 500E. It's not a handling car. So here's the thing. Does weight matter that much on a BEV? Well, of course it does. It reduces your range, and all EVs are inherently heavy because their battery packs are. But is the weight that big of a deal when it's not a handling car? Notice there's no F-Sport. Even though we saw an F-Sport badge in the teaser, I haven't seen anything for F-Sport yet. Okay, we could see an ES 550E F-Sport. I mean, the current ES has an F-Sport, and this vehicle's a gajillion times faster. And we don't have any F-Sport announcement. All right, let me look here. F-Sport, nothing. Let me just type in sport. Yeah, that's talking about a GRERS news briefing at the bottom of the page. All right, back to the spreadsheet. Do we have numbers on the E-axles and the power outputs? Yes. All right, system output. Let's start with the big dog, the 500E. Okay, well, they have PS here, so you guys get an idea. But 252 is 338 horsepower. 338 horsepower. This is the PS is a little bit different than mechanical horsepower here in the United States. So about roughly 338 horsepower for the all-wheel drive. Okay, that is not that much. All right, if you look at the new BZ4X, essentially has that power. That's kind of disappointing. All right, let me go to the spreadsheet real quick, because the RZ 500E has 375 horsepower, and like I think the new BZ4X has about the same power as this range topping ES. I mean, here's the thing: objectively, 330 some horsepower in a BEV is still going to be like sub 5 seconds, 0 to 60. Oh, they show it right here. All right. Like I said, sub 6 seconds. Guys, this is slower than I thought. Now, this is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So it might be 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. It's actually quite a bit slower than I was expecting. Okay. Maybe they're really nerfing these BEVs so that the F-Sport that eventually comes has plenty of breathing room. That seems weird to me, guys. Because the RZ 450E that's currently on sale is going to be replaced by the 500E and the 550E. But the RZ 450E does 0 to 60 in like 4.8 seconds. Why is this a full second slower, having more horsepower? Is it that much heavier? Is that why? It's really strange to me. If we look at 0 to 60 on the ES 350 front wheel drive, it's about 8.5 seconds. Guys, that's really slow. That's really, really slow. That's unacceptable for a car of this caliber. It should be at least a 6 second 0 to 60, like a 6 to 7 second. Why is it so slow? Look at the hybrid. The hybrid ES is in like a 7.5 second 0 to 60 essentially. The hybrid is faster than the BEV. That should never happen. That should never happen. Okay, the ES 350. Guys, I'm getting really, really like bent out of shape here. These numbers just don't make sense. Why is it so slow? It shouldn't be this slow. I know it's an ES and it's always been kind of slow, but you're going BEV. And when you go BEV, you just have endless amounts of power that you can put into these cars. Charging times, whatever, that's going to change depending on where you're at. So I'm not even going to go into that. All right, so they're estimating over 300 miles of range on the slow 350e. And then who knows what kind of range we would see here. It goes down, so hold on a sec. Okay, so let me tell you the range, what it's going to be on, or close to what it's going to be on the 500e all-wheel drive BEV. So we're going to do 0.62 divided by 1.4, about 270 miles of range. Not bad, but like the G80 Genesis gets 323 miles of range. Okay, and that has more horsepower, right? The Genesis G80 EV has like 365 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 on that's like 4.5 seconds. That's why I don't understand these 0 to 60s. Why are they so slow? They shouldn't be this slow giving the power, but maybe they're just so heavy. Maybe they're too heavy. I don't really understand what's going on here. But 270 mile range on the higher horsepower model, 300 plus miles of range on the slow front wheel drive model. Guys, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, go buy the hybrid, because these EVs, they're too heavy. They're going to be so heavy, you're going to blow through tires much faster. They're slow. Like this is not fast for an EV. You're talking about a flagship, guys. For Lexus to wave around the flagship naming with this vehicle and to have such slow accelerating EVs is just stupid. I don't have a better word for it. It just seems like such a short, like a big misstep. Unless they're completely like misleading us with these numbers, which is a possibility. Maybe these are too conservative, uber conservative in the rain. I don't know. But it's not like, this is not good. Not good from what I'm seeing. Lexus needs that next gen EV platform badly if this is the best they can come up with in terms of range and acceleration. Oh, all right. Yeah, the hybrid, guys, just get the hybrid. What is the horsepower output here? All right, this is the first time we're seeing this 5th gen system. Yeah, 331 horsepower. It's the same thing, or it's just a slightly more. No, it's just actually the same, right? Because the Camry's 225 horsepower and all-wheel drive's 232. So it's exactly the same output, essentially, as the Camry 5th gen hybrid. So yeah, it's a fantastic hybrid. The ES deserves to get that hybrid, but you can get it in a Camry that's half the price. You know, I'm still going to love the ES no matter what, as much as I'm roasting the EVs. Here's the thing, the EVs are going to be super smooth, very quiet, but the hybrid is what most people are going to be buying. Rest in peace, V6. As we know it, it's never going to come back into the ES. So let me know what you guys think about the ES. Wait till it comes to America and for me to drive it to give you my final thoughts. You know, I like the design. The design is, you know, pushing the envelope. The performance, we'll see. The performance as of right now is a little underwhelming. Range is par for course, essentially. And this dual screen is really ugly. I don't think it's going to come to America, though, which I'm perfectly fine with. Keep that in China. All right. I like the green interior, going bold there. I mean, people are buying cars more and more for design. All right. And this is really pushing the envelope with design for Lexus anyways, right? For a Lexus brand. So let me know what you guys think. Would you be getting the hybrid? Would you be getting a BEV? Would you need the extra 30 miles of range on the front wheel drive, or do you rather have the acceleration on the all wheel drive? It depends. Like, I love efficiency, but on EV, they're already very efficient. So I'd probably just get the all-wheel drive model and suffer a little bit on the range. In America, EVs are essentially just city cars for the most part. Now, it will have NACS. More than likely, it'll have NACS. The RZ is getting NACS. The BZ4X is getting NACS. So this will be able to charge at Tesla supercharging networks. The blue and the copper are just awesome. But for me, this vehicle is going to be best with the hybrid. It's also going to be so much lighter. It's going to handle better in theory. I don't know if we heard anything about suspension. Let me look up suspension. No, we don't. I mean, I don't think we're going to have an air ride suspension, which is interesting because if you're talking flagship, you would think that they would talk or bring up air ride suspension. Luckily, the hybrid's not much heavier, it seems like. Was it 300 pounds heavier? But the ES is getting more horsepower. It's going from 208 horsepower on the hybrid to 230 horsepower. So the efficiency might go down actually, because the vehicle is bigger than it was before. And then it's much heavier with the BEVs, of course. So, I love the ES. I can't wait to drive it. Hopefully Lexus surprises me with its ride quality, its comfort. It's going to be hard to surprise me with it because they have a huge hurdle and they set the bar so high with all the previous generations of the ES in terms of comfort, quiet, smoothness, that the EVs in theory inherently should be able to match, if not beat it, because there's no engine noise, right? So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. I got to shut this down. Long live the ES. We're going to miss the V6, that is for sure. And yeah, I'm sure the comment section is going to be fire. I will get my hands on this car fairly soon. It could be as soon as next month. It depends if it's going to be at my next Toyota event. It for sure will be at the Japan Mobility Show this fall. So I'll get my hands on it and I should be able to drive it soon. Again, what can I say about availability? Last time I heard is that it's going to be available in the United States around January. So early next year, this vehicle should be available for the United States market. It could launch in China very, very soon. We'll see. Thank you guys. Have a great day and peace.